Good morning. Just kind of wanted to go over something that I'm looking for. So gold's been in this crazy run. Got tons of trades in here. It's been fantastic, and we've broken through all-time highs, right? And anytime we're at blue skies, I'm going to be long biased. I know that you can probably get some sweet short moves, but I'm not interested in that. And so what is happening kind of right now, in my opinion? Well, the same thing that's happened over and over. Some kind of reaccumulation via a liquidity grab, and a break of a trend line, and then along the break of the trend line. So that's kind of what I'm watching to happen again, because what have we had? Well, we had some lows here that just got rinsed out. Volume is spiking on this rinse, which tells me it's likely, never definite, but likely that somebody's accumulating a lot of contracts here. And so I'm looking for some kind of continuation, which will likely be on a smaller time frame. If I zoom in on a 5-minute or something, what I'm looking for is for price to break above this, some kind of consolidation, and then I would long the break of that, targeting this. But as we approach that, I'll start trailing my stop and try and get squeeze a little extra out of it. So that's what I'm watching for. We'll see kind of how this plays out. All right, starting to what I was talking about is starting to happen. So we had this little reaccumulation model. Grab this liquidity low here, and so I always watch on a smaller time frame for things like MAs to start flipping, MAs to start getting respected, like this bounce here, and then to look for things like this, just like a bull flag on this smaller time frame above the MAs while breaking this, etc. So I've taken one contract so far, and I'm just going to give this a minute, and if it kind of starts happening again, I'm going to add the rest of my position, and then we'll just let it play out. All right, thank you. All right, so as you can see, the 1 hour reaccumulating, taking some liquidity lows is what we're expecting is happening. So I did bump down, and I am long now. So, things that I'm looking for, obviously the break of this trend line, obviously these smaller time frames, the 1 minute in this case, sometimes the 5-minute, depends on really whatever you want to do. In this case, the 1 minute, I'm looking for the MAs to flip, them to start getting respected, tested, and then for new little trend lines to be forming and breaking, right? And people might be like, well, how do you know to take, this one versus that one or whatever? And I don't, dude. That's trading. But this is kind of what I look for, okay? So now I have two contracts long. I took one, I believe it was here. I said it in the previous video, and then I just took another one around here somewhere. So now we're hoping that we don't bump into previous day's close and roll over. We're hoping that we kind of use this almost as a liquidity point to push higher and test these highs. So that's what we're looking for. Just keeping you posted, showing you what the deal is. And if you are a little nervous about getting involved too early, which does happen, like there's a decent chance that I get stopped out of this position and have to just wait and try again, right? That happens. That's why we risk little amounts to make large amounts, right? So we can take multiple attempts. And but if you're a little worried about that, then stick to a 5-minute instead of using the 1 minute. 5 minutes not totally set up yet, unless you hopped in early, which can be, has its pros and cons. But still, we're below the MAs on the 5-minute. So on a 5-minute, you would not be involved yet. On 1 minute, I am. Okay, so I'll keep you posted on how this trade works out. All right. As we're kind of watching this develop, it's not developing exactly how I'd want. I'd kind of want things to be moving a little more aggressively. But with that being said, we're remaining patient. We are long. Our stop is below this low here. And something I want to point out, we are on the 1 minute, right? And what's starting to play out here is exactly what has played out on the 1 hour. And this is kind of what I want to point out. Like this is what I look for, okay? This is what gives me a little confidence. We have this low here. which was just rinsed. And on that rinse, there's a little spike of volume. And then look at how little volume on this following candle engulfed that move plus some. There was very little effort for aggressive buyers to engulf this candle that just rinsed out this low. So I can assume that this was a liquidity grab. And then so for instance, pretend this was the 1 hour. This is the same break that we're trying to long right now, right? Where are we? Liquidity grab, increase in volume, right? Breaking the trend, bumping down, liquidity grab, breaking the trend. So this is what we're looking for here. So this I like. So we are long. We're going to let this play out. And we're hoping that the previous day's close does not give us trouble. But if it does, that's fine. You know, we don't know what's going to happen right now. This could just go like this and dump unbelievably. Or it could just grind slowly all day. We don't know. But I'll keep you posted. All right, so we just got rinsed out, which happens. And so we're just going to kind of wait. We're going to just let this keep kind of doing its thing. If I get rinsed out on 1 minute, a lot of times I'll just want to go up to the 5 and just see if the same stuff sets up on the 5 minute. And then hopefully we can get another setup. We'll see. Classic trading, right? As soon as I step away to take a shower, we get some action. So here's the 5 minute. Again, same thing. We have a low, a liquidity low. That got rinsed out. Spike in volume. So now we're hoping that this takes out this high and pushes. So I did get back in. I got in late. I would have liked to have gotten in about right here or so on this break or on this candle, but I got in probably here. And now we're just kind of waiting. And what we'd love to see is for this to set up and break out, right? And if I get stopped out of this, that's kind of it for this trade. I'm going to step away because we don't want to get kind of caught in a choppy area here, which can totally happen, right? So that is it for now. We're long and we are waiting. All right, again, waiting for, we have this 5 minute setup here. Ideally we want it over these MAs, correct? But one thing I'm noticing is this. These MAs are starting to get respected to the top side, right? Let's see what the 1 minute looks like. Still not ideal, but starting to spread, starting to point up. My guess is, it's actually probably happening right now, that as the 5 minute, my guess is this is going to kind of spit out a big old candle up above this moving average. I don't know how high it's going to go, but I think it's going to just kind of explode over. So let's see what happens. I am long again. That is correct. I did long late out of the shower above this break. We're currently sitting at -1R. And let's see what happens. Ideally, we want over this moving average. And there you have it. The pop over, right? So does that mean this is going to start just ripping? No, definitely does not mean that. Could this still completely dump and come all the way down? Yeah, absolutely. We don't know what's going to happen, right? But I am long. I'm seeing the things I want to be seeing. I now want these MAs to start flipping long and start pointing up, and instead of being spread to the downside, be spread to the upside. We definitely want to get over this previous day's close. And we just want to keep seeing confluences. Confluence 1, we broke the 1 hour trend line, right? Yes, we took a 1 hour loss in here. That's fine. It's going to happen half the time or more, right? Then we saw this nice new reaccumulation where we rinsed out this low, right? Price got sucked back up. A little bit of a spike in volume. Look how little volume and little effort it took for aggressive buyers to swallow this big move that broke below here to grab liquidity, right? Confluence. These MAs starting to get respected on the 5-minute. Confluence. So this is worth risk to me. This is worth putting on risk. And we're trying to get price to kind of deliver to these areas. Boom, boom, and then ideally push way above. But depending on whatever your profit-taking strategy is, like you could be targeting swing highs. You could just do kind of what I'm doing is as price gets up here, I'm going to start trailing it tightly and then see if I can get to the next level while trailing and then see if I can get to the next level, right? So right now we're long and we're just letting things work. And we're just observing the things that are pointing in our direction. Confluences. And we'll keep an eye on this. All right. A little bit of a snoozer today. -1 on the day. And I'm actually glad I filmed this so you guys can see what trading's actually like. It's not you just take entries and you get wins. That's not how it works. You take losses sometimes. You take break evens. So let's kind of go through this again one more time. I did, I kind of talked through it as it was happening, but of course we have the trend, which hopefully is not being washed out by all my stupid drawings. We have the overall trend. And we were hoping for a liquidity grab below here and a push higher, right? Over this break right here. Bam, bam, roughly. And that's not exactly, what happened. This could still set up, but this trade didn't work out, right? So I'll kind of go through it again. We bumped down to the 1 minute. We took an entry off, I believe it was this break. Yeah, I believe we took an entry off this break here. Bam. And then we took an entry off this break. And we ended up taking a 1R loss. And then we did see some cool stuff. We did see things I normally like to see. We saw this low get taken out. And a reaccumulation, little spike in volume here, and then a big old pump. Remember how I always talk about this? Rinse, pump, stop everyone out, take their shit. And on the 5-minute, I remember this. I liked that, right? We broke this high. That's always good to see. Confluences. But probably around here, I had to leave my desk and go do real life stuff. So I just let it work with my stop. My stop was down below this low. While I was out doing life, I kept checking back at my position, checking the charts. Did not like what I was seeing. Did not like seeing this just kind of chopping. And MA's like getting all tight and crappy again. This is the 5-minute, of course. But so on the 5-minute, they never really got nice. They only got nice on the 1 minute for briefly. And this is like a little nuancy, but anytime I see candles like this, I don't like them. Like low volume candles that start doing this can go on forever. Like some days there's, ES sometimes has days where you get candles like this on the 15-minute pointing up, and you just get them all day long, and it's low volume and it's just slow and it kills you. So once I saw those, I moved my stop to break even, put my phone away, and just went on living my life and just took a break even loss on this, which again is a little nuancy. Like as a beginner, you kind of want to just accept the risk. Leave your stop where your stop is, or do whatever your system says. If your system says to move your stop to break even at a certain point, then do that. but I trade the same setup so often that sometimes I can be like, yeah, I can tell this one's not going to work. So I'll just take break even, or I'll just take it off at a $5 gain or whatever the heck, just pay for commissions. But so yeah, we had a -1 day. And so now we're kind of just leaving it alone, and we're just going to see if it can set up in some fashion. There might be we might see price kind of start maybe breaking this one, over this previous day close. And notice where price gave us trouble. Okay. Price started giving us trouble near this previous day's close. And that's kind of why I have these on my chart. And in an ideal world, right? And trading is almost never ideal. But in an ideal world, these 5-minute MAs would have spread. We would have been trading over the spread 5-minute EMAs. They would have looked like this, and price would have been over this. Over that, your win rate increases pretty substantially. But yeah, so we got a loss today. Now we're just kind of waiting. We're chilling. I have an alert over here. Sometimes the night session gets exciting. Sometimes it doesn't. CPI is tomorrow. Maybe nothing's going to happen. But that's fine. We don't have to trade, right? We're chilling. We're doing chilling, mate. But I'll keep you updated on any new setups or any new trades that I take. Have a great one.